Good afternoon, yogis. It's Courtney from Grand Park. I'm really glad you're here today. Thank you to Grand Park for hosting us in this platform. Today, we are going to focus on gratitude. Gratitude is always, in my experience, a great thing to focus on. But I thought with Thanksgiving this week, it's kind of an obvious that we would focus on this. And to me, gratitude is really an instant perspective shift. So when I find myself in patterns of jealousy or annoyance or anything that just feels like meh, 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 when I shift that to what I actually do have, what actually is working, even if it's just having basic needs met, I instantly feel silly for feeling that other way. So not saying that gratitude can, shift everything, but it can really, it really is the way that we see the world. And when we can see that the world is full of goodness, we move from that place of goodness. When we see the world as, it's very easy to see the world as full of evil and kind of grossness right now, we tend to see it through that lens. So we're just going to see maybe if we can shift a little bit in our minds today. And the thing that I'd like us to focus on is the breath. So I think of George Floyd, I think of COVID and how it's, a sickness of the breath. And the breath is the life force, the thing that's keeping us alive, that's keeping our body oxygenated, that keeps our minds kind of moving and thinking. And I just want us to find gratitude for the breath today. Yeah, does that sound okay? So let's come to find a seat. You could come to sit in a chair. I'm just sitting on the earth. I'm in a half lotus pose. You could come to Sukhasana with the ankles crossed. You could come to a kneel, whatever feels the most comfortable and grounding to your body today. And then let's go ahead and settle the shoulders away from your ears. Place the palms either down on the thighs, in the lap somewhere. Go inside yourself and just start to notice the breath. Maybe notice the breath is shallow, but the breath is unconsciously keeping us alive every moment of every day. What a gift, right? See if you can start to take a little bit of ownership over your breath and notice how that affects the way that you feel. So our breath is directly connected to our nervous system. And the way we breathe sends signals to the rest of our body of how to be. So can you breathe in some gratitude? Can you allow the breath to take over in a way that allows you to feel your body, that allows you to feel your aliveness, your health? Let's maybe even take a couple breaths for those who have not been as fortunate as we have been. Maybe who have fallen to the virus or fallen to injustice. Can you take a couple breaths for them? And then from here, go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Start to take back in your space. We're going to start with a really simple breath. So this is called a balloon breath. I actually do this with my kids a lot. We're going to imagine the internal body is a balloon. So you know how balloons expand and collapse? We're going to place a balloon inside the belly, the chest, this area. Maybe even imagine a colored balloon so that you get really clear on what that looks like. And then you're going to give yourself a hug. Allow your body to collapse in. So allow your chin to rest into your chest. And then as you inhale, you'll start to expand the balloon, fill the balloon with air, send your arms out to the side, a little baby back bend in your upper back. And then as you exhale, cross your other arm on top and then give yourself a squeeze. Let all the breath come out. Inhale, send your arms out, expand your heart open, let your elbows bend, baby back bend. And then exhale, give yourself a hug, collapse all the breath out of the body. 2 more times. Inhale, send your heart through, fill your chest with breath, big balloon. Exhale, round in your back, let all the air come out. 2 more times. Inhale, move with your inhale, let the breath fill in. And then exhale, move with the exhale, let all the breath come out. Inhale, let all the breath come in, let your heart expand out. And then exhale, round everything in, give yourself a little hug, let it all collapse. Find your tall spine. And then if the legs are crossed, maybe switch the cross of the legs. We'll come into a balancing breath now. So this is a nice way to settle the energy of the body, to settle the nerves of the body. So we're going to take a little peace sign, draw those fingers together, add your thumb. Place your thumb to the outside of your right nostril. Let your exhale fall out. And then through left nostril, breathe in for 2, 3, 4. Close your left nostril with your pointer and your middle finger. And then exhale out the right for 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Close right. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Close left. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Close right. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Close left. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. A few more. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Close right. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Close left. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Close right. Exhale left. For 2, 3, 4. Let that go. Close your eyes. Notice any shifts if there are. Find the gratitude for your breath if you've forgotten. And then go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Just some gentle movements here. So we're going to start to make circles with the head. So imagine you had a pencil in the center of your head. Can you start to draw really tiny circles? Can you continue to let your breath soften? Maybe start to enhance your circles. We're not coming into full neck rolls. We'll be really gentle today. And then start in the other direction with those little circles on the top of your head. Start to take those circles a little bit wider. Really nice. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. A couple breaths into the left side of the neck. See if you can take really slow, full breaths here. So use the breath to create space. Tuck your chin into your chest. And then your left ear comes to the left shoulder. Few breaths of space and opening into the right side of our neck. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Fill any tightness with a little hug or a big hug of breath. From here, tuck your chin into your chest. Let the weight of your head tuck your chin into your chest. Let your shoulders come away from your ears. This might be enough. You could also interlace your hands and put a little bit of gentle pressure on the back of your head, only if you need to add stretch. So let the breath be your guide. If the breath gets tight and tense, maybe back off a little bit and find a flow of breath into your neck. From here, release yourself forward. And then we're going to extend the legs straight. And then we'll bend the knees. Place the feet where the knees just were. We'll add a little bit of twist here. We're really going to amp up the breath because it's harder to breathe when we twist. So right elbow or right forearm comes across the knees. Find length in your spine. And then settle your left hand down to the base of your spine. Find lift in your heart. Maybe settle your shoulders away and then maybe start to gaze slightly towards your left shoulder. Notice any constriction in the belly, in the lungs that makes it a little more challenging to breathe. And then send more breath. So big breaths, soft breaths, full breaths here. On your exhale, release yourself forward, other side. So the left forearm comes across the shins, and then that right hand stacks to the base of the spine. Find lots of length, and then we find our twist. So gazing towards the right shoulder, notice any constriction of breath, and send more breath. From here, on your exhale, release forward. We'll come into the hips just a little bit, softening with the breath. So take your right shin parallel to the top of your space. Bend your left knee so it's coming out from your left hip. So we're in like a little this pose, sitting down. And then listen to your body here. So if this is a lot, we can stay here. You could also add a little leaning back. So we're breathing some space into our upper left hip here. Settle your shoulders away from your ears. Close your eyes. And see if you can anchor the breath in your heart. So sending a couple full breaths into your heart here. And then can you anchor the breath down into your front left thigh? So anywhere that's even a little bit tight, can you send some breath to that area, nice and soft and full? Go ahead and release yourself up. We'll switch to the other side. So the left shin comes parallel-ish to the top of the mat or your space. The right knee bends out from your right hip. Option 1 is to stay here, or you can come into your little recline. So we'll breathe some space into the left hip, the right upper hip. We're leaning back, we're puffing up the chest, shoulders away from your ears. Anchor the breath in your heart to start. So finding a couple full breaths into your heart. And then anchoring the breath into your right thigh, into anywhere that's even a little bit tight or maybe a lot tight. Use your breath to find a little bit of softness and opening into that area. From here we'll release, soles of the feet come together, knees come wide, so softening with the breath into the inner thighs here. So listen to your inner thighs. So take your feet in as close to the inner thighs where you don't feel your body tense and your breath start to be withheld. So find a place where you feel some tightness, but you can allow the breath to flow through. Option 1, rest your hands behind your hips, puff up your chest, send your shoulders away from your ears, breathe here. Option 2, maybe hands come to your ankles or your feet. Option 3, walk yourself out to deepen the experience of the stretch, only if that's right for you. Wherever you are, let the breath flow through. Let your body settle down, let your whole body release, relax. Work with your breath to soften. So slow, full, soft inhales in and out of your nose. Wherever you are, rise yourself up. Or if you're seated up, stay seated up. Is that a thing? Seated up? I don't know. We'll extend the feet out a little bit so we have a little more space in between the thighs and the legs, a little diamond shape. We're going to come to softly open in the outer thighs here. So maybe this is enough. Hands come behind the hips, or you can take your hands just below your knees, or you can start to fold yourself out. So find that space where you feel a softening and opening, and you can let the breath flow that softening, that opening through. So a few breaths here into the outer hips. Really being in the experience of the breath, grateful for the breath moving through, creating space. From here, on your next inhale, rise yourself up. Keep your left leg in, extend your right leg out. So we're coming in to open in the mid back, the low back here. You can bend your extended right leg as much as you need. You could also put a blanket or a pillow or something underneath your thigh here if the back of the leg is really tight. Come to frame your extended right leg. Send your right shoulder back. So there's a twist happening. Option 1 is to stay here, or using the softness of the breath, start to fold yourself towards your right pinky toe, yeah? So right shoulder's reaching back, heart is reaching for the pinky toe. So we're not curled into the spine. The heart is lifting and reaching for the right pinky toe. If you're not feeling anything in your low to mid back, keep working that right shoulder slightly back. Find a couple breaths. Really let the breath flow through. From here, rise yourself up. Right hand comes inside the right foot. We're just going to add a little side stretch. So left arm is going to reach up and over the left ear towards the pinky toe, but the heart is reaching up here. So we're reaching for our toes, but it does not matter if we ever get there. Heart is reaching up. Maybe the gaze looks up. We're coming into stretch, what we just tried to strengthen a little bit. So find your breath. On your inhale, rise yourself up. We'll switch it to the other side. So we're bending the right foot in towards center, extending your left leg long out from your left hip socket. Hands come to frame the extended left leg. Left shoulder is reaching back. Heart is already reaching for the left pinky toe, yes? So find that twist in your back. Find the lift of your heart. And then option one is just to stay here. Remember, you can put something underneath your extended leg if the back of the hamstring is really tight. Go ahead and maybe start to walk yourself out if that is right for you. If it is not, please stay seated up. Why do I keep saying seated up? I don't know. Keep your left shoulder reaching back. Keep your heart reaching for your pinky toe. How's your breath? What can you soften? What can you expand and soften and open with your breath? How can you let the breath flow through any tightness in your body here? Keep working that left shoulder back. And then walk your hands up. This time the left hand comes inside the leg, and then the right arm reaches up over your temple on the right. We're reaching for those left toes, but it doesn't matter if we ever touch them. The heart is reaching up for the sky. You're breathing into the right side body. What can you soften in your breath here? What can you deepen with your breath here? On your inhale, release yourself up. Let's find our way to hands and knees. So we're just going to do a couple things to connect breath with movement. This is a really nice way to get grounded, to open the heart a little bit. So the wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. Your hands are spread really wide. So give yourself a foundation. If the knees are sensitive here, you could put a blanket underneath your knees. You could double up a mat if you have a mat and place it underneath your knees. So tops of feet are released here. We're going to come in through several cat-cow poses just to create some space and some length in the spine. Let your exhale fall out. And then as you inhale, let your belly drop. Let your heart come through your arms. Imagine you could touch the top of your head to your bum. The heart is reaching for the sky. And then as you exhale, press into your knuckles, round in your upper back. Imagine you could touch your belly button to your nose. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Really connect the breath to the movement. Exhale, round in your upper back. Inhale, let your belly drop, let your heart rise, let your breath take the whole space of this movement. And then exhale fully and let the exhale trace the full range of this motion. Inhale, your belly drops, the heart rises. Exhale, curl everything up and in. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises, just a few more. Exhale, curl everything up and in. 2 more times. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl everything up and in. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl everything up and in. Find a neutral spine. We'll tuck the toes here. So we're going to come in to stretch the feet a little bit here. So you probably already feel a foot stretch. If this is like, whoa, a lot of stretch, please stay here and use the power of your breath to soften something in your feet. If you want to challenge your stretch a little bit, maybe start to walk your hands back. Maybe kindly sitting on your heels. Again, if that's too much stretch, put the weight forward into your hands. Wherever you are, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a couple slow, soft breaths of gratitude for your feet. So our feet carry us around all day. Take the weight of our entire body. Can you just give them a little love and attention here, breathing space into your feet? What can you soften with the breath? On your exhale, release yourself forward. Release the tops of your feet. And then we'll switch the fingertips to face towards the knees. So we're going to come to stretch the wrists and the forearms to any amount. So we don't have to put any pressure in the wrists here if you're already feeling a lot of stretch. Bend your elbows as much as you need. Maybe you stay here, breathing softly into the forearms, into the wrists. You could also place gentle weight into the wrists if that is okay for your body. So either weight out of the wrists on the fingertips, stretching into the hands and wrists, or palms flat, wrists opening, forearms opening. So a couple soft breaths here. Head is in line with spine. Gratitude for your wrists, for all your typing and texting communication muscles. For your hands that allow you to pick things up, make dinner, hug people. Remember what that was like? Take 2 more full cycles of breath into anything that's feeling tight or sticky. And then gently releasing out of this, facing the fingertips forward. And then we'll keep the knees as they are, the hips stacked over the knees. We'll walk our hands out, coming into an upper back stretch. So the arms are in an inverted V overhead, forehead touches down to earth. If that does not happen, you could put something underneath your forehead, a pillow, a blanket. So here the arms are active. So the arms are in a V overhead. The armpits are hugging in, so the triceps are working. The heart is reaching for the earth and the shoulders are melting away from the ears. Let's take 3 full breaths here together. Let your exhale fall out. Through your nose, inhale for 2, 3, 4, little pause at top. Through your nose, exhale for 2, 3,
4, little paws out. Through your nose, inhale for 2, 3, 4, little pause at top. Through the nose, exhale for 2, 3, 4, little pause out. Last one like this. Inhale through your nose for 2, 3, 4, little pause at top. Through your nose, exhale for 2, 3, 4, little pause out. Allow your breath to come back in. And then walk your hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up. And then from here, we're going to make our way to legs up the wall, legs up something. So if you don't have a free wall space, I recommend a closet door is a really good thing to use. You could use your refrigerator. You could use your cabinets in your kitchen, anything that's not going to move, so that we can rest the legs up. So we're going to tuck ourselves into whatever we're resting the legs up. This is a really nice way to restore the body. So in gratitude for our healthy bodies, we're just going to give our bodies a little rest here. Does that sound okay? Okay. So keeping your hip tucked in to the wall, the closet, the refrigerator, whatever you're using. Come down to your elbows. Make sure that your shoulder and your hip on the same side is tucked in really securely, very flush to the wall. And then in a little swoop, we'll send the legs up the wall. You can bend your knees if you need to, or if it feels okay to extend the legs to any amount, go ahead and do that. So here, allow your bones to settle down, allow your shoulders to melt down. You can place the hands wherever it feels most comfortable. I really recommend closing the eyes here. And then allow yourself to have this restorative pose. So it's normal for tingles to come up in the legs. If it gets to be too much, you can bend your knees, place the soles of the feet where the knees just were, and then rejoin us all when you feel ready. I'm going to be quiet for a couple minutes just to give us this space to be in a restorative shape, to nourish our body and our mind. Here we are. Remember to focus on your breath. See if you can find a slow, steady inhale and an exhale that is just as long. So watch yourself take 2 more full breath cycles, really taking in a soft, full breath and really releasing a soft, full breath. Really taking in a soft, full breath. Releasing a soft, full breath. From here, start to slide your feet down to where your knees just were. Settle your feet on the wall. Settle your low back into earth. And then rolling over to one side, making a little pillow with your head. And then with your free hand, pressing yourself up, coming to lie on your back. So taking a comfortable position, that might mean laying flat on the back with the hands down by the sides. That could be bending the knees and placing the soles of the feet where your knees just were. So we're going to come into one little thing for our neck to release and soften in the neck. So make sure your shoulders are down away from your ears. And then you'll just start making no motions with your head. So you can take this as slow or as quickly as feels good. Getting a little cranial massage for the back of the head. You can also pause as you take your head to one side and breathe into your neck. So just listen to what feels good for you today. Softening into the neck, letting breath flow through here. Taking one more each side. And then taking your head back to center, we're going to make a really small yes movement. So tuck your chin gently into your chest to release the back of your neck. And then send your chin up slightly, maybe look just a little bit over your head and make that motion a few times. So finding a little length in your neck, a little massage for the back of the head. Find your way back to center. Close your eyes if they're not already. We'll finish with our anchoring breath. Remember, we're focusing on gratitude for the breath, for it being the thing that keeps us alive, that keeps us centered. So first, just starting to anchor the breath in your belly. So as you inhale, imagine the belly, maybe it even moves slightly, filling with breath. And as you exhale, slowly release the breath from the belly. A few more like that. Inhale into the belly. Exhale from the belly. Inhale into the belly. Exhale from the belly. Inhale to the belly. Exhale from your belly. Now we're going to anchor the breath in our hearts. So imagine the breath being rooted in your heart. As you inhale, chest expands. As you exhale, chest releases. As you inhale, chest expands. As you exhale, chest releases. Inhale, chest expands. Exhale, chest releases. Inhale, chest expands. Exhale, chest releases. This time we're going to anchor the breath in the head. So imagine the head was filling with air and then everything was releasing from the head. Inhale into your forehead, into the back of your head. Exhale, release out of the head. Inhale into the space of your head, your thoughts. Exhale, release them out. Inhale into the head. Exhale, release it out. Inhale, release into the head. Exhale to release it out. From here, let the body take over, breathing however it wants to breathe. If there's anything you need to do to make your body more comfortable, please allow yourself to be more comfortable. And we'll just take about a minute of Shavasana, so just being in the experience of our openness, of our breath, of all the body was and wasn't able to do today. So just a minute here. So from here, starting to breathe back, conscious breaths into your body. Allowing the breath to fill in all of your body. Starting to find any small movements that wake the body back up into space. And then eventually rolling over to your right side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. And then from the stability of the earth, pressing yourself up, let's draw our hands into a gesture at the heart, bowing your chin into your chest. Just feeling your body in space, feeling the breath moving through, maybe feeling the experience and the miracle of your body being alive. And then before we move off into the rest of our days, into our week, I invite you here to think of one person that you are grateful for. Let them fill into your heart. Let yourself experience how it feels to think of them. And then just send them a little love, a little breath, a little energy in gratitude for the effect that they have on your life, the inspiration they give you, the love they provide, the support they provide. I am very, very grateful to all of you for being here today. Please share this experience of gratitude with whoever comes into your day. It's really powerful stuff, yeah. Thank you all so much. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. Thank you, yogis. I'll see you next time.